music is an amazing thing. The atmosphere that music can create is incredible. But in a situation or a place like North Korea, where the atmosphere is so stressful, when you bring some creativity into that, even just for a moment, it changes things. It touches people. It's amazing. Every day I was hounded by journalists, and the more I asked to do certain things, like can I go to the metro, for instance, or can I go to this place, it was always no, 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 no. After 4 or 5 days, I started to do the same. So they wanted interviews every day to put on national television, and I said, sorry, no more interviews. And they were like, what? I said, I'm sorry, I've done it like 4 days in a row. I don't want to do it anymore. You've got enough footage of me. It's enough, sorry, no. They were shocked, like really upset. Not like angry, but like disappointed. Like, oh, you know. Days went by and it became increasingly tedious, to be honest. My guide, who was the policeman, was very stressful to be around. And these people were with me from the moment I went out of my hotel room until the moment I went to bed. So hours per day they were by my side. My translator was very friendly. She was awesome, amazing English. She was funny. But he was just very stressed, a chain-smoking guy who was just very hard to be around. And what's really bizarre, he treated me like a child on a daily basis. So I started to behave like a child. It was really bizarre. One day we were in an open field. There were some mountains just outside Pyongyang. And they were showing us some sports exhibition. It was very boring, to be honest, kids jumping over hoops and things. It was very impressive. But after 10 minutes, you've seen enough. So I wandered off. I mean, there's nowhere I could go, you know. I wandered off slowly, you know, just to look around at the nature. And he was like walking behind me, like just like that. So I was like, what are you doing? He said, I'm following you. So I started running. You know, it was very sort of Benny Hill, you know. I started running. He started running and I started sprinting. And he's a chain-smoking guy, right? He's like, I said, look, where am I going to go? You know, what can I do? I can't escape. Why would I want to run away in this area and not be able to get back to my hotel without you? Think about it, you know. And he's like, oh, okay. The next day, I thought, I've got to get out of this hotel. I've got to get out of this hotel. Get me out of here. And so I made a plan. I thought, if I go to the lobby and sit in the lobby on one of those nice chairs for a long time, they'll get used to me sitting there. They'll start to ignore me. Then I can just walk out. So what I did is very James Bond. I got a North Korean newspaper, which I couldn't read, of course. I took it. I sat in the corner and I opened it and I started reading it for ages, like this. And the guys were watching me. They've been told, of course, to watch me. So they're watching me like this and smiling, of course. They were very friendly, but still doing their job. After maybe 20 minutes, they were distracted. A bus arrived full of North Korean soldiers checking into the hotel and I slipped out. Now, I didn't want to cause an international incident. I didn't want to get arrested, of course. But all I wanted to do was walk the streets for half an hour and look around with my camera, you know. So I walked, I didn't run away. I didn't want to cause a scene. I walked slowly, looked over my shoulder, and no one was following me. I thought, amazing. I got about 5 minutes down the road, I have to say. I didn't turn off. I didn't want to cause a problem. I didn't turn off. I headed for this awesome children's playground where there were kids playing, and the kids, they never see foreigners walking alone in the streets, right? They were terrified. Well, some of them were terrified. My hair was blowing in the wind, in bright clothes. They're like alien to them, you know. And so I took my camera, and there were these bunch of kids that either ran away for their lives or came up to me and said, take a picture. Well, in Korean, they couldn't speak English. So I'm snapping away, getting gorgeous pictures of children. And they were so friendly. Suddenly, my guide had heard that I'd escaped the hotel, and he was running down the road. Carter, get back here now, not allowed. And I turned around and said, stop right there. Stay where you are, in the middle of the street. He stopped, and I said, you know, I was so fed up, you know. Leave me alone. You can stay there, you can watch me from there, but don't come and pull me and touch me and, you know, escort me anywhere. I'm not going to run away. I don't want to go to prison. But you told me when I arrived that you wanted to give me a good impression of your country, and it's not going very well, you know. So he sat down looking quite ashamed of himself, to be honest. I felt bad because he's doing his job, basically. I'm his responsibility. So I took a few more pictures and I thought, okay. I went back to him and I sat on the chair with him and I said, listen, let's lay some ground rules. You have to understand, I'm not going to run away. I don't want to get into trouble, but I want to feel like an adult. Don't pull me around, don't shout at me, and treat me like a human being, and that will go very well for both of us. Do you understand? He said, okay, I understand. I said, I'm really sorry. I said, look, I shook his hand. I said, I don't want to get into trouble, but I also want to feel free as much as I can, normal. He said, okay, I understand. From that moment onwards, it was much better. He still was watching me, of course, at every move, but it became better. And also we started laughing about it, which was quite funny. At night, I was left to my own devices in my room, and there was a secret bar in the hotel I found by accident. No one told me it was there. One night I went out just to buy some biscuits and beer, because that's all you could buy in the hotel lobby. And I heard people, a large group of people were going up the stairs and obviously going on a mission somewhere. I thought, where are they going? That looks interesting. Soldiers, basically. So I, followed them a little bit, keeping my distance, and they went into this room and there was a bar. I was like, wow. I walked in, all North Korean soldiers, and they had maybe 4 or 5 bottles of something very strong on the counter and a bunch of beers for sale. And they all looked at me like, what's he doing here? And I'm like, well, this is interesting. So I just went to the bar. I said, what have you got? No English, of course. And they said, beer. I said, yes, give me a beer. So I took a beer, and I thought, well, I'll just stay here and stand at the bar and maybe someone will talk to me, So I'm standing at the bar with my beer, thinking, well, shall I go and sit down? Who shall I talk to? Can I talk to these people? What's the thing? At that moment, in walked, obviously, a very high-ranking North Korean soldier, official, general, I don't know what he was. The whole place stood up to attention. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? He saw me, he went, hello. I said, hello. And he came up to me, and he shook my hand, and he said, drink with me. I said, okay. And I said, that. No, he said that, pointing to this bottle on this shelf, which had a snake inside of it. So he poured 2 very large shots of this stuff, and it's yellow, like urine. It was disgusting, with bits of snakeskin floating in it. It was really disgusting. He said, drink 1 time. I said, okay. So I took this drink and I whacked it back with him. Cheers, down, and it burnt my throat. It was disgusting. And we had a chat in a very broken English. He was trying to ask me questions, but I didn't understand what he was talking about. We laughed and whatever. Another shot, knocked it back, very strong. By now I'm getting, by the way, the second drink was, I think it had a python. The first one was, I think it was something else. It was definitely a python. Knocked it back and I thought, okay, time to go to bed. So I said goodbye, everyone waved, oh, bye-bye, they're very friendly. Went to my room. Well, suffice to say, I had the worst diarrhea, the worst stomach you can imagine. I was awake all night on the toilet, feeling ill, and I thought that was a bad idea. At 7 in the morning, my phone rang in my hotel room. I was like, hello. I was feeling rough. It was my translator. Mr. Carter, Jason, we have a surprise for you. I said, I'm not really sure if I'm up for a surprise this morning. I've been quite ill last night. She said, we have to go now. Can you come? We're going on a road trip. And I said, on one condition, that you promise me that there are toilets at regular places because I'm not doing very well. And she said, I promise. I said, okay.